Welcome back to Medina County, Texas GMRS. I'm excited to bring you the review of the Btech GMRS-PRO that everybody's been waiting for. We kind of did it a little different. I don't think it's possible to test a radio in 1 or 2 days and then do a review. So we played with it for about a week, sat down. I've already done a video on some of the text, data, and GPS features that you can watch, but we're going to give you our overall thoughts of the radio, show you a little bit of functionality, and tell you what we think about it. Let's take a look. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time to do this review on this cool little radio. I guess you can already hear in my voice that it's something that we have liked. I wasn't so sure at first, right? For those of you who hadn't already figured it out, I'm not a very technical guy, so these buttons were really different, right? It took some getting used to. You already got to see the video of, I don't want to say unboxing. I was just excited to show you what was in the box. But I had to feature this handy dandy screwdriver again, right? If anything in that box was worth 140 bucks, this was it. So hold on to that. Don't lose it. Some of the first things I can tell you, when I get a radio out of the box, the first thing I do is I want to put the belt clip on. Well, they have made this one of the biggest pains in the ass that I think I have ever had with putting a belt clip on, but it is sturdy, okay? You have to, if you're going to use this, Lord help you. If you can manage getting this thing on with this, I tell you, send a video. Just put a video up, and because I want to watch. I'm not that talented. It took, of course, you got the tension spring in there, right? So you've got to press the clip on there. You've got to get. I got a regular screwdriver with a magnetic tip, and kind of slowly inserted it and got it up in there. That was one of the biggest challenges. But once that was on there, we're all good. If you saw my video or any other the videos out on YouTube, there's not a charging cradle, right? There's just the USB-C plug on the back. Your indicator light is right here. Red is for charging. Green is for full. I typically will leave my radio on and charging while I'm listening at the house. If it's on, I have yet to have the indicator light turn green while it's on. Now, if you turn the radio off and it's fully charged, it'll show green. Or you can just come to the front of the screen and look and see what your charge percentage is, right? But just know that if it's on, it's not going to show you a green indicator until you turn it off. The instruction manual that comes with it, it is 71, 72 pages long. It gives a lot of good information. A lot of the instruction manual is about the app, which I'll get into a little bit. I know some of the other videos on here have kind of deep dive into it pretty heavily, so I'm not going to bore you with that. So just know that the instruction manual is a good instruction manual. There's no need for Rosetta Stone when you go to read this manual. And just to show you what else is in here, they give you a USB-C charger. You don't get the part that plugs into the wall. I'm sure you have an extra one of those laying around your house. No wrist strap. So if you're a wrist strap kind of person, well, hate to disappoint you, you're going to have to steal one off of your Baofeng, and put it on there yourself. So let's get down to the radio. You know what? I'm leaving that right there because that, once again, that is the highlight of this product. I'm only teasing. All right, so what we have here is a 180-channel radio. The channels, though, the 180 channels are broken up into 6 groups with 30 channels each. Group 1 already comes with all your GMRS and GMRS repeaters programmed into group 1. You have group 2 through 6 to do whatever you want. You can do it directly from the app. I could not figure out a way to do it by Chirp. I don't think it's uploaded into Chirp yet. But the really cool thing is, if you and your buddies buy this radio, this has channel sharing and group sharing features. So what that means is, if you go into the app, you can actually share a channel or an entire group with somebody via text message. And the coolest part is, it sends them a text, and as long as they have the app downloaded to their phone, when they open the text, it will open the app automatically, connect to the radio, and dump it on there. And the cool thing is, when, say they send you a group, when they send it, all of their presets will already be there. So if they are just doing single channel mode, it'll be in single channel mode. If they have one set to talk around only, it'll be in talk around only. You can go in and make your edits, but your radio for that group or channel will match identically to what your friend or family member just sent you. So a really cool feature. WRPY 682 and I were tinkering with that at breakfast on Sunday, and figured that out, and it's super neat, super neat. You have a 2600 milliamp battery. I will tell you right now, I'm at 59%. I left the house. As you can tell, I'm in a hotel today again. I left the house about 4 hours ago, did no transmitting on this, but I'm down to 59%. But if you will notice, right there, I have the little satellite feature on, and what that means is it's linked to my phone and GPS. Well, you have the phone and the satellite. The one thing I found out about this radio is it will suck the life out of the battery if you have both of these features on all the time. 4 hours and not transmitting at all and being at 61% isn't good to me. So I would recommend turning these features off. What I've also noticed about this radio is, if you have the app on your phone, when, let's just say you have them connected, and you have the radio sitting here, and you go walk to the bedroom, or you go outside and you go out of range of the radio. They're not connected. You've disconnected them. You walk out of range. The minute you come back into range, it automatically connects up, and you know the Bluetooth is then on the radio. The Bluetooth is then on your phone, and therefore it's going to drain your battery faster than normal. So something to be mindful of, and turn that feature off if you don't necessarily want it to be connecting every time you walk within Bluetooth distance of the radio. As far as the construction of the radio, this thing is built like a brick shithouse. It almost feels better than the Wuxin radio that I have. I've done a review on that. Please go and watch it. This has a metal chassis. See if I can get the battery. It's easy to get off, but you've got to be smarter than the battery. Let's see. Got to push up. There we go. All right. So as you can see here, metal chassis all the way through, and it is very sturdy. As far as the size, it's not as big as the KG905G, and it's definitely not as big, but not as small as a Baofeng with, the small battery on it. As you can tell, the screen is amazingly clear. I didn't have much trouble in the sunlight. I'm sure y'all are all aware we haven't had a cloud in the sky in Texas in weeks, and I was outside with it the other day and had no issues seeing the screen with sunlight. I mean, I tilted it a little bit, but I mean, just like with your cell phone or anything else, right? So nothing too crazy there. One of the most awesome features of this radio is just about everything on this is programmable, right? Your top option button is programmable. Your two side buttons are programmable. I believe they have 3 functions each. You have a one press, a double press, and then a press and hold, and you can do that with either or. This is actually a triple use button. You can program the first 2 settings, but a double press allows you to connect it via Bluetooth to the phone. So something pretty cool. I've had no reason to take this cover off yet because I don't use a corded mic and couldn't find it on Chirp to program, so we've just been doing it through the software. I'll be flashing some screenshots of the app up on here as we talk about certain things, just so you can see in the app what it looks like. Let me go. So I have these programmed to where a double tap changes your group. So that's an empty one. Let me go back. All right. So here I have it on primary. And if you noticed, when I was on out of town, I just had a single channel displayed. When I'm back at home monitoring the primaries, I want to monitor my repeater along with the Simplex channel that we use, so it automatically knows when I go to the primary list of channels, my primary list of channels, it knows to go to dual watch, which is pretty cool. It remembers all of this stuff. So your up-down arrow here, I've left these the same. This just changes your top channel or bottom channel. The channel you're on turns red. Now, one thing I did to both of these bottom programmable buttons, if I press and hold either of the bottom, it's going to key up channel number 2 here. So watch, I'll press and hold, and it goes down and it's transmitting. And then after you release, it jumps back up to channel number 1, which is the repeater there in Dunley. All right, so that's how you navigate which side you want to be on, channel 1, channel 2. This is your menu button. This takes you can switch channels this way as well with the top left key. Your top right key, when you're on the home screen, toggles you through. If you are connected to other GMRS-PRO radios, your radios have connected, or you're part of a team, from my understanding. WRPY682 and I could not get the teams to work at all. We're meeting with a Btech rep this coming weekend, and we're going to see if we can figure out what we have to do to make the teams function work. Let me go back. So either one of these buttons will toggle you through the screens if you're connected with anybody. This does not show you a map, right? You can download maps on the app. And when you're using your phone and your radio, when they're linked together, you're talking to groups, you would be able to see somebody else on the map on your phone, but this radio will not show a map. Okay, so keep that in mind. Because of the GPS, it'll throw your date and time on the screen for you, the date and time. So pretty much everything is programmable on this. Another awesome feature is this has NOAA alert monitoring. So you have the ability to set it to where if there's a NOAA alert, it'll come up on the radio automatically. Now, if you're putzing around and you just want to listen to NOAA, there's a lot of steps you have to go through to get to listen to those frequencies. So none of these programmable buttons, I wish that one of the features were that if, let's just say I pressed and held this button, that it would bring up my local NOAA channel, but that's not one of the options. But here's the badass thing about this radio, and I get excited about it. And once again, I'm not a technical guy, but it excites me because the way they can update the firmware on your phone and to this radio, right? The opportunities are endless on this radio. So that's something that they could add to it at any given time. But let me show you, I mean, for any of those of you interested in the NOAA feature, I know that I use it quite regularly. well, if I could hit the right button, there we go. So you've got your FM radio. Of course, it has an FM radio. What Chinese radio doesn't? You have signaling, radio settings. So you can change some of the things in here. See if I can find my weather. See if I know where the hell it is. Oh, there it is. It's at the bottom. So you scroll all the way down on the main menu. You hit NOAA. So right now I have it on weather alert. In order to monitor the weather, you've got to find your channel first of all. You've got to know. So like right now I'm down near McAllen, Texas, near the border. I don't know what the weather channel is here, or what the NOAA channel is here. So I would actually have to go through each one of these, or I guess I could Google it. But if I'm going to Google it, I'll just look at the weather on the damn phone anyways, right? But you would go through here, figure out which one is your channel, and then you've got to come down here and go to monitor, and then it's going to monitor the weather for you. Right now, obviously I didn't select the correct channel, or it would you would hear it. But let me turn my weather alert back on. So cool feature if you're in Tornado Alley or where y'all have a lot of severe weather. Just a neat feature of this radio that most other Chinese radios do not have. So I guess a few things that people had asked for, right? They wanted a power test. So here is a clip of me testing the power of this radio, the output of this radio, before I left the house earlier today. All right, so no review would be complete without putting the radio on the watt meter, right? So what I've done here is we just have it on some random channels, one high-powered channel and one low-power channel, just to see what we're getting. This is advertised as a 5-watt radio. As always, using the middle set of numbers. 5 is the large hash mark right there. So let's try it on a high-powered channel. And on a full battery, we are getting 6 watts. All right, let's just do it again to make sure it's not an anomaly. There you go, 6 watts on high. Let's take it down to a low power channel, should be about half a watt. And we are just at half a watt. Of course, my meter doesn't have one of those nifty digital displays, so you kind of got to take a stab at it, but I think it definitely works well enough. All right, back to the review. For a small radio like this, kicking out over 5 watts, I can't complain one bit. I can tell you some of our testing on this, we had no issues punching over the hills of Central Texas at about 14, 15 miles away. So very pleased with the power of this. Somebody else, a few people had asked for an audio test. So here's a clip of the audio from this radio. Yeah, 10-4. Can you give me a 5 count up and down?
Roger that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go.
Greatly appreciate you, sir. I hope y'all have a great day. WRJC 281. I'll be monitoring.
Roger that. You do the same. WRTM 527 monitoring.
So there you go. That the Hondo Airport is about 13, 14 miles away. He's on a handheld with a external antenna and coming in great. So I hope that helps you determine how the audio is going to be for you. You can hear how clear it is. And the audio settings, the mic gain, all of that is adjustable through the app. I'm sure it's on the menu as well. It's just easier to do it through the app. And once they get it on Chirp, I'm sure all those options will be there. Some of the other things I want to share with you is the locking screen. So to lock the screen, so check this out. I like having this display up. I don't know why, but I like having the compass on there. So if I press and hold the lock screen right now, it switches to that and then locks the screen. So now the screen is locked, right? So, but now it's on that. I don't want to see that. So what you've got to do, if you're on the compass screen showing your height, your altitude and speed and all that, and you want to lock it, you've got to go 1, 2, and then hold it, and it's going to lock on this screen now. So kind of annoying, but you just got to remember to do it. I just like having that on the screen. Don't ask me why. In the app, there are, and I'm going to show you on here. Once again, I will flash screenshots of my cell phone. Okay, so here's the main screen of the app. It shows a map, shows where you are, shows the current channel you're on. You click on the 3 bars to bring up a channel list. You click on the 3 dots to go into settings. So we're going to go back here. And I had an issue earlier on with this list, because you can get to your groups 2 different ways. You can click this. It looks like a map to me. I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be, but if you click that icon, it'll tell you all of your groups. So then you click on a group, and I don't know if you can see behind, but every time I click on something here, it instantaneously changes it on the radio. I know I can't focus in on both of these, but I know my big old sausage fingers are in the way. So click groups. I'm just going to go to repeater. No, I was already on repeaters. Go to primary, changes here, and then it changes there. Dual channel goes to Dunley and our Simplex channel. But what I was telling you is, so you can see your groups here with all the channels, but if you go to settings, you go to device settings, and you go to channel group, it doesn't necessarily list all the channels here that it listed over here. So I'm sure that's something they can fix. You just got to figure out, this one's actually, it's easier to switch groups from here than it is from over here. And then, of course, like I showed you a minute ago, switching groups, as long as, you know, figure out how you want to program your buttons. But, oh, I forgot I had it locked. There you go. It's unlocked. Now, those screens stack up on each other, so you've got to give it time to catch up with itself. So I just changed groups this way. See? Look, and I don't know if you can see that. Let me change it back, and you can, I'm going to change it on the radio, and you can see it change it on the app. So there, we went back to dual monitoring. We're on the primary channels that I have programmed. Go down again. Well, that's annoying. So that took me back to the pre-programmed channels from Btech. I absolutely love this radio, and I know I'm not going to get into a bunch of technical stuff like the other guys did. This is not a beginner's radio. Let me tell you that right from the start. Could a beginner learn this radio? Of course they could. But this one is has a lot more bells and whistles than any other radio I believe that's out there. Even the ones with the big old keypads and everything else. So this one takes the cake by far, just because of what it's capable of doing. Well, let's back up. What it can currently do between the app and the radio, and the capabilities that it has to do down the road when Btech starts making some changes. You know, as Dave and I mentioned in the video where we were playing with the data, you cannot send data through repeaters. The FCC doesn't allow it. It's not a Btech thing. It's an FCC thing. So that is not possible. You know, there are a lot of cool things that, you know, if if the FCC gets lobbied, maybe they could change it. You know, who knows? I don't know. But knowing that all they have to do is update the firmware, blast it out to your phone, you update the radio. I mean, anything is possible. The sky is the limit, right? And you know, I just think this is pretty darn neat. I think I mentioned in that first video where Dave and I were talking that I wasn't 100% sold at first. You know, it almost looks like a cell phone, right? If you take the antenna off, you know, hell, that could be a cell phone from 20 years ago, and that's, you know, that kind of why we like GMRS radios. But after tinkering with it and playing with it for a week, I mean, it's a badass little unit, and you're going to have a lot of fun with it. I had mentioned it has a built-in Simplex repeater in it already. No, once again, you can't hook it to a 40-watt amplifier because this antenna is permanent. Remember, it won't come off. All of that video where I took mine off, that was editing. You were really looking at the top of a Baofeng and a different antenna. So I psyched y'all all out. I did not remove my antenna because it is, I think it's not only glued, I think it's tack welded. So no, you can't remove your antenna. And for those of you who saw a longer antenna on Dave's, I need you to call your optometrist and get your eyes checked, okay? Because that was a different radio. All right. So all in all, y'all, it's a great radio if you're okay with learning a bunch of new features. If you're into the techie part of it, this is definitely going to be up your alley. And to be honest, $140 for this piece of equipment is not bad at all. Thanks, Randy, but there's a 5-week wait for these now. Now, I'm giving him a hard time. But there is a 5-week wait, apparently. You can't find them on Amazon. So if you happen to get one of these early, you know, congratulations. We may not see them for another month or so. But go and order you one, pre-order you one, get one in your hand so you can start playing with it and getting used to it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll be honest. This is my favorite so far. This is probably a solid 8.5. It would be a 10 if there were some features that Btech unlocked. But for any of you techie GMRS people, go get one of these. If you just like simple radios, stick with the KG905G, stick with the you know, something a lot more basic with fewer buttons. And listen, to each his own, right? I mean, some people want this, some people don't, and I get it. But I'm very impressed with it. I hope you are too. If you have any questions, please share them in the comments below. Let us know what you think of this radio. If you already have one, let us know some of the functions you've programmed for your buttons. And everybody wants to hear what everybody's doing, right? This is a community of people who want to have fun and like our hobby, and I think it's great. Last bit before I go, I think I'm 5 people away from 5 subscribers, and I want to get rid of those Redivus handheld radios. I'm ready to give them away. All right, so please subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing another radio giveaway once we hit 500, and I'm going to do this for the first 1,000 people. So we're going to do 200, 500, 800, and then another giveaway at 1,000. And everybody has left such supportive and nice comments. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the kind words from each and every one of you. So thank you for your continued support on this brand new channel. I'm having a lot of fun with it. The interaction with all of y'all is amazing. I hope y'all have a great day. Like this video if you think I did a good job. I guess you can thumbs down me if you think I suck. I get it. I'm okay with that. You know, I can only get better if you tell me, right? So, no, I hope y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching my video. Subscribe, like, and we'll see you on the next one.